Dishonored 2's 5th level, Conservatory, it really amazes me in many ways. For once, I'm actually not even speaking purely about speedrunning, although we'll get to that very soon. But I feel it's a perfect example of a level. It has a side quest, it's rather open, multiple factions that actually interact with each other, plethora of ways to infiltrate the main building, and maybe most importantly in this game, a rather unique non-lethal option that doesn't actually feel weird. It feels rather okay. But what else does it offer? Well, for speedrunning, it's a level that has seen many iterations, and that's what we're here to discuss. Welcome to Dishonored 2 Speedrunning Retrospective. My name is Cearadeth, and even though I have a new mic, I'm sure there won't be any production issues. Today we'll be taking a look at Conservatory, which often is the answer to the question that I get asked a lot. What is your favorite level in this game? As per usual, we'll be taking a look at the Day 1 run, and then breaking down all the strat changes from launch date to current day. Mission 5 is actually split up in 3 different parts. What you're currently seeing is the Void section. That's basically just a slightly interactable cutscene. After this, we'll be waking up on the boat, a standard intermission thing, and then heading to the main mission itself. There is nothing interesting in the Void in the current run, other than it's just gonna take some time. Well, it can skip to the boat and start talking about time loss. Yeah, what a great subject to start with, but I have to inform you about this peculiar thing called a black screen. Later on, we might be getting a black screen skip, also known as a BSS or Bussy. We have to interact with Megan here, and as Sokolov is getting his drunken booty up from the sofa, we can head towards the skiff. Mono routing Day 1 obviously wasn't a thing, but doing 1 or 2 blinks here is completely fine. And this isn't fine. 4-second black screen. No, this isn't an error in video editing. This happens because we didn't know what makes this tick. Later on, we'll figure out what the trigger is, and we can skip it. But that's later, not now. If you remember from the other episodes, sheathing wasn't exactly the Day 1 thing. When you sheath your weapons, you would move about 10% faster, so we're effectively getting a bit of a movement speed penalty here. Well, that's completely fine. It's the first day, and this is actually a unique strat that nobody else did. So it's really cool to see these rewires being put to use. Now we can just go through this wall of light without having to worry about it zapping us back. You can maybe also see that we're a bit sensitive on the mana, not really spamming it too much. That's because this is the halfway point of the run. So sure, we've collected a lot of potions, but when are we going to use them? I don't know. But let's take it back just a few seconds here. What on earth happened when Brianna was shot? So Brianna has a bone charm that's always active for her. If she gets ambushed by a ranged attack, it effectively nullifies it and spawns blood flies instead, hence why nothing happened. The scary thing is that when aggroed, Brianna can instantly teleport to almost anywhere in the entire level, so that's why going for a slow but guaranteed melee kill here is a safe bet. These dogs can also ambush you and lock you into an animation even mid-blink. Don't ask me how I know that. It was a really sad day, and I might not have been too happy about it. Here we can see that Day 1 we still didn't obviously know how to block and cancel these landing animation, but that's okay. Our second objective lies underground in the basement guarded by these witches. We have to interact with the audiograph and then it's time to bail. I found it really funny, but the Day 1 run actually did that run around that desk, so obviously we had to put it in. The only real noteworthy thing about running back is that mana was really reserved. There weren't that many blinks. Mana routing wasn't exactly a thing Day 1, so this doesn't really surprise anyone, I hope. But we just make it back to Brianna, and then that's that. This Day 1 run ended at 4 minutes and 44 seconds for the entirety of Conservatory. Next run, we can see a cheeky blink above the wall of light. This cuts down the time significantly as you don't have to rewire it. This wasn't the only improvement, as it was discovered that as long as Brianna has fully aggroed, the bone charm that she has actually does nothing. This makes shooting her safe, granted that you don't actually wait too long and give her a chance to escape. You know that she's fully aggroed when you see all 3 lightning things on top of her head be fully red. Before that, and the bone charm will activate and you're gonna have a bad day. Now, although yours truly does love to take risks in this game, 2017 Cearadeth wasn't as confident. So here you can see a very fast kill animation that's super safe as well. And that's a good alternative if you don't want to shoot her and you don't want to do the standing animation because that's a pretty long one. This double vault is something I haven't really seen others do, but it is very swaggy. This next run has a slower Brianna kill, has the double swag, but it also has Zephyr, the bone charm that gives you 10% movement speed. That, combined with a better understanding of mana routing, allowed Bjorni to spam more blinks at the end, resulting in the first sub 4 minute time. I wanted to include this because this is the last minute barrier we've broken, and yeah, we'll break it later without Zephyr as well. You might be looking at this and going, wait, 4:13? How did he lose that much time? Well, it was half intentional because we were actually going to buy potions. We're going to fill up our potions here, and then that will allow us to use way more mana. Like, you can see us blinking a ridiculous amount. And that's because getting 10 potions, like up to 10 potions from that store is a big deal. If you saw the Mission 4 video, you might remember that there was a time when we grabbed extra paintings and extra things like that, and it was for this route, so we could go to the shop in Mission 5. Taking a 13, 14 second time loss in this mission is totally fine because we got like 10 potions. We're gonna save way more than that. Here there was a very tiny alteration, so after the shop, just take the indoors route instead. Everything else is the same. Remember when I was talking about the bussy, the black screen skip? Well, here it is. Turns out the culprit is the stairs. So what do? Well, we'll just clip out. By leaning under a curved surface, you can just blink and it'll displace you on the other side, basically. It's very basic, but we'll have a cooler variation later. This is still the same run, as the improvements don't end there. You can blink through this window, and Brianna will turn around. She's like, huh? What's that noise? And you can shoot her. A bit risky, but it still works out. This alternative path to the basement also is a bit faster. Not by much, but hey, everything counts, right? This is where the fun begins. Wait, no, wrong script. This is where the leaps begin. This leap, box leap like I call it, open letter to Bjorni, I don't understand how he did it so consistently. But believe it or not, this leap at the end of Conservatory is even worse for me. I don't know how I don't know. Oh yeah, by the way, this was the first sub 4 without Zephyr. Here's a nice little time save that contributed to the first sub 350 at 349. That leap is very nice. It's very pretty. And here's a good example of the sort of copium strategy I had to come up with because I couldn't do the quote-unquote better ending leap here. Dear lord. And speaking of copium, I was told multiple times, yeah, just crouch at the box, it's so much easier. Yeah, no, it's not. Nope. Debunking this. But what I do know is that this leap, after the second wall of light, when done maybe from the left side, is really pretty. Even from the right side, it still works out. In this dramatic reenactment of me failing another new leap from this lamp, I had a different backup that I used. It was here, and some people said it was really bad, and I kind of liked it. Early 2020, aka bottle skip era. We can skip this dialogue by throwing a bottle and aiming at us, and then we can just easily blink through this wall. Oh, that is so simple, and it's just so sexy. Speaking of sexy, our sponsor for... No, sorry, I'm not doing that bit. We can actually now skip part of this cutscene, saving about 11 to 14 seconds depending how fast you are, jumping on this branch and then just kind of wiggling on top and then hitting a trigger for the cutscene up here, because the trigger is always there, we just didn't know about it or know how to hit it. But hey, this is a very nice skip. New year, new runner, 2021 approached, and we got Isoiki, who absolutely smashed the sub 330 by getting a 324. There weren't even that many new strats or anything. There was that box leap, and then just a very fantastic finish. He just played really cleanly, and that's what you get. Although, let the record show, he didn't actually land in the water. I did. Oops. Now for some rapid fire strats. We can thread the needle as it is to get to the basement a bit faster. And over time, we obviously made this faster and faster, and even from top of the stairs. And there's a very nice and safe leap where you can get stuck into this corner, zoom in for some frames, and then just, well, off you go zooming, I guess. Now we're entering the Blink 2 era, and this is a bit of a heavy hitter because it was a sub 320 at 319. We have Blink 2. What we can do with Blink 2 is insane because we can abuse this ledge and our leap momentum and just blink past everything. Brianna wasn't safe either, because with Blink 2's extended distance, we can do things like this and just catch her off guard. Absolutely amazing. This blink also lines up perfectly and gets us a nice drop down, and here is the on top of the rail blink that I talked about earlier. But the piece de resistance, excuse my French, is incoming. This is the tree leap. I didn't even want to say anything. It is so pretty. But let's look at that again. So we're lining ourselves up, leaping, looking a bit up and behind and blinking past that fence. It is unfortunately very sensitive to errors, so you can bonk something and screw something up. But when you don't, it's great. We have one last visit to the void, where we can skip this first cutscene. It's pretty tricky, but hey, it's cool. Skips maybe 2-3 seconds. But on the same run, there's a much more important strat to discuss, and it is shooting Brianna with a flame dart. Now you might be asking, wait, didn't you just say, like, forever ago that you can't shoot her? Well, yes, you cannot shoot her. You can shoot at the ground and let the flame spread. It's pretty genius, I would say. But that incendiary strat was the last one I would consider a route change. So let's take a look at how this last section works with all of those strategies. Just very quickly before that, here's all the split times for Mission 5, and here's all the world record split times for Mission 5. I'll link these in the description too. As per usual, thank you for watching, and this is off script. New mic, new me, haha. No, I had some production issues, and I'm still figuring it out. I'm so sorry if there's any audio problems in this one. But hey, I have an SM7B now. Yay! Bye-bye Yeti. As much as I liked it, it was starting to have some issues. But hopefully M6, again, I don't want to promise anything. I'm never going to promise anything about any run ever being out. But I'll start working on M6, and we'll see you there. Thank you for chatting with me. Or listening to me chat, sorry. Yeah. Bye-bye.